Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go through how you can create an audience to show your LinkedIn adverts to. So there's two primary ways that you can create an audience on LinkedIn. So the first way is by targeting people that already know you. So that's what we call your warm audience. Okay, and on LinkedIn, they call it your matched audience. So basically, it's people that are your website visitors or your contacts, or if you have some sort of database of maybe customers or potential customers or people with their name and email address, you can actually upload that straight into LinkedIn and target people by targeting a matched audience. Okay, so again, you can target people that visit your website by adding the tracking code, and I'll have a separate video on how to do that. And you can also target a list of contacts. So you can literally just upload your email database into LinkedIn and target people. So again, LinkedIn, the way that works is LinkedIn will match your database, for example, or your website visitors to those that they have, to the members that they have on their website, so that they can see your adverts. And this is really good if you're targeting warm contacts with a message. Things like webinars or events do really well. Sometimes even potentially some salesy messages if who you're targeting is a very warm list, people that really trust you already, and you have something that you might want to sell or offer them. That can also do quite well. But essentially, whatever method that you do, you just want to make sure that you have you track it and you have a decent audience size as well. If you have a tiny database where you get very little traffic on your website, and just to confirm, by tiny I mean like if you have less than 100 contacts of email addresses in your database, it's not going to be worth it. And also, if you get very little traffic to your website, again, it's probably not going to be worth it as well. But if you do get some decent traffic and you have a decent sized email database, then it could be worth uploading. But for the sake of this video, what we are going to do is we are going to target a cold audience. So we're going to target people that have never heard about you before, or at least in theory, they haven't heard about you before. So the first thing you want to do is you want to choose your location. So what is the location that your potential clients are based in? And you can do that by city, by state, by country. So I could just do the United Kingdom as an example. And then we can actually drill down on exactly what kind of businesses or business people we want to target within this audience. So what I tend to do is target people by company industry. What you can do is just click on see full list and you'll get a list of all the different industries that they have. So if we want to target people in, media, for example, they have all the different categories as well that you can select here. Say we want to target people in information services, and then once you start, clicking on it, it will appear here. Or you can also just type in the keyword into the search box, like design, and again, it will appear here. So whatever you've included or selected, it will appear here where it says include. Okay, so that's one way of targeting people. And then I normally try to choose 2 or 3. So if I just target people by industry, that could be okay. But I also want to target people based on job title, because I would want to target people, the decision makers and the people that can actually that actually have the power to buy something from you. So then that's where you would select job title, and you can select or type in any relevant job titles that you think will be good for you to target. So usually for most accountants, that tends to be high-level job titles such as managing director or CEO or partner or founder or something like that, where someone would have the power to make a decision or a buying decision. So you can target people, as you can see here. You just type in director, and it has a whole list of different job titles that include the word director. So I'm just going to do managing director. And as you start filling this in, LinkedIn will actually update its audience on the top right with how many members so far you are targeting. So far with people in these 2 industries with the job title managing director in the United Kingdom, we have just over 7,000 LinkedIn members. So as we start, typing in different things, typing in different job titles, maybe different industries, we can then start to increase this number. But I wouldn't worry about the size too much. I'd say what's more important is the quality. It's better to have a smaller size for LinkedIn anyway. It's better to have a smaller size and a very, targeted group of people that you want to get in front of, rather than make it too broad and just appeal to everyone. So again, that's why we talk about having a niche quite a lot at The Profitable Firm, because it is really important for you when you do any sort of marketing. Another good way to target people is by company size. So you can choose, what kind of people are you looking to work with? Are you looking to work with one-man bands? Is the sweet spot maybe 1 to 10 employees, or maybe 1 to 50 employees? You can just select both of them. So you can just pick and choose who it is that you're looking to get in front of. And you can even, if you just want to get in front of really big companies, again, you can do that here as well. That's one of the things that, by the way, that LinkedIn really has going for it, is this company size thing that Facebook has, but it's just not as accurate as LinkedIn's company size. Because when people have a LinkedIn account, they actually do select the company they work at, and LinkedIn can see how many people work at those companies as well. Now, depending on who it is that you're targeting, some of these may or may not be relevant. You don't need to do all of them. You can pick and choose what it is that you want to target people by. Okay, and then finally, it allows you to check enable audience expansion. So in my testing, I've actually found you get better results if you do not check this. So if you just leave it to those that you've targeted. I don't think the LinkedIn algorithm is as smart yet. It's especially not as smart as Facebook's in terms of self-optimizing your adverts for you to help you get better results. So I would turn this off for now. And if anything changes in the future, I'll be sure to let you know again. So once that's done, you can, by the way, if you actually want to save this audience in the future, so if you don't want to go through and select everyone again, you can just click on Save Audience as Template, Save as New, and then give it a name. And then in the future, you can just click on Update Existing, and you can choose the previous LinkedIn template that you've already created here. So you only have to do this once if you want to. And then just click on Next. Okay, so on the next page, we can choose how we are actually going to start paying for these adverts. So you can choose your budget and things like that. So I normally leave these as they are. So I normally leave it on cost per click. That's fine. And then the daily budget, again, that's up to you. One weird thing with LinkedIn is that you just have to keep in mind that whatever you put here, that your spend could actually potentially be 20% higher. So just a word of warning. In my experience, I haven't seen it go too much higher, just so you know. But again, it's just worth keeping in mind. And then the suggested bid, which is basically how much you would be willing to bid for people to click on your link or click on your form. So I normally leave it at the default amount right now. And usually that's fine. You can get some good results with that. And then finally, you can do the campaign start date. So you can start it right away, or you can schedule the start date and you can choose a time. Let's do maybe the end of February, as I'm recording this in mid-February. And then if you want some more options, you can also choose the campaign end date. So say, for example, you definitely don't want any more adverts running after a certain time, or you definitely don't want to spend more than, £300 or whatever it is. You can put that into the total budget here. Okay, finally, I do select optimize for clicks because we want to get more clicks on LinkedIn. So that's what we want them to optimize it for. And then again, just click on next to go to the next page.